Cook this a little bit. Quick saute some mushrooms in a little bit of olive oil. Tossed one kind of salt on already, but I'm gonna do a tiny bit of this red pepper and Himalayan and garlic salt, along with a little bit of pepper, especially because I'm gonna cook that down a little bit. Scared you for a second. What happened? Why are you scared? Oh wow, thank you for the follow. This really isn't a whole lot in the way of mushrooms. I'm going to be relying a lot on some other flavor compounds that we're going to be putting in here, namely the riced cauliflower mixed with some ginger, sauce this with a little bit of garlic. So all this is going to get nice and browned after a bit. Continuing to add a little bit of seasoning throughout. Actually read something pretty interesting the other day to talk about how trying to season everything at the end works out really poorly because you can't really build flavor that way. You can, but then that's really just how you end up with super salty food that's still also bland somehow. So try and do a little bit of seasoning throughout now. That wasn't the other day, but yeah. I have some fresh ginger, but I want to use it because I think, well, honestly, because I'm almost out of ginger, so I'm trying to just hang on to it. And for this particular application, it's mostly going to get dissolved. Not dissolved, but meld into the flavors that I'm using. Something that's necessarily needed. That kind of build up a little bit more here. Yes. Hello. Food indeed. No, sweet babies. No, sweet babies. The guineas are very excited, as they always are, with food. How are you all doing tonight, though? Made it through your Monday all right? Nice and fragrant, gingery, a little touch of garlic smell. Slowly just browning this. By the end of this, usually can't really tell too much. It's not really that meaty. Mostly because when I make these regularly, I use chicken anyways. Um, so more of the flavor is on the soy and the ginger and the different seasonings. And then, of course, I top it with a little bit of spicy peanut sauce. And sriracha. So it's a nice bunch of different flavors. So that I don't think the chicken tends to shine through, which is why this was one of my go-tos for a meatless dish. Woo! Oh, wow, that's cool. Thank you, Megavisions. Good to see you. I was actually legitimately just the other day talking about the podcast from Sega Addicts. All right. Yeah, I figured that was you, Scotty. Oh, there's a little bit of soy sauce here. Work that in. Mm. Yeah, like I said, I normally make these lettuce wraps with chicken, but honestly, after all the seasonings, you really don't get a whole lot of chicken flavor. Mm. Yeah, that should be good. The only other thing I'll say, if you were to try and make this yourself, is to just bear in mind when seasoning throughout. I almost always go for like low sodium, low salt content stuff, because you can always add salt, but you can't really take it away. That's why like I cook with unsalted butter and yeah. Okay, so that should be good. I'm gonna let that sit here for a second. It's actually gonna be a very quick stream. I'm gonna turn this to low. Depends obviously on your stove. Oh yeah, spaghetti's good. Um, I might make that in the future this week actually, because that's also pretty easy to do meatless. That might be something else that I do. Oh yes, sweet babies, I know. I know you can hear me. Are you trying out meatless stuff? Honestly, I'm just trying to cut down. I think meat is one of those things that I just kind of indulge a lot in. Um, it's good for the environment, it's good for your health, blah blah blah. But it's also, I don't know, just something I'm giving a shot to. Plus, it's doing stuff right. It's very affordable. Yeah, definitely. Um, Definitely creative. Forced me to think outside the box. If I'm being honest, the primary reason that I'm doing it is health. Um, I know that it's a little out of order, but I'm trying to trim down just a little bit more. Not not for the summer, but for Christmas. Mostly because I'm supposed to be traveling somewhere, fingers crossed, warm for Christmas. I'm gonna vacuum seal these romaine leaves because I never use enough romaine. Vacuum sealing it will help. That's not all. There's. Fuck out of here. Still air in here. Come on now. Oh, it's low on battery. For the first fucking time in forever, in the entire history of me using this thing, it's asking me to charge it. I didn't even realize that was the battery indicator up there. Thank you. Thank you for coming by and for the follow. Super cool. Now I have to go and put this fucking thing on the charger. So I'm gonna leave that out. But yeah, let's toss this in the fridge. Cut off romaine. Use whatever leaves you want, really, but kind of want the big stuff. These small ones. I'm gonna go to the guinea pigs. Cut these ends off here because not super good for them. Okay, should be good. Yes, sweet babies, I know. Colin dries. quickly give these to the babies. Yes, there you go. This to the side here. Alright, so garnishings. Got chives. I'm gonna break out this Logon Ma chili oil crisp. Sriracha and spicy peanut sauce. The last thing I'm going to do to this is finish it with a little touch, just a little bit of sesame oil. I really do stress a little bit because not only is this stuff super expensive, it's very high in the flavor compounds, and if you just pour it in there, it will overpower pretty much everything else. So you typically don't want to do that too much. Perfect. All right. This. Pick out 3 pretty leaves. It's more of a boat shape. Looks a little bit, just a little bit like larb. All right. Little dollop of spicy peanut sauce. Please. And then I'm gonna sprinkle logo. It really is. Quick picture of this. All right. And now to eat it. Cheers. Mm. A little bit of spice. 100% veggies too. Mm. Yeah, so I made mention before, but chicken. Um, thank you, Claire. Chicken dishes are a really good opportunity to replace it with other things, just because you can't really. Chicken doesn't have a ton of flavor. And in this particular instance, just replacing it with any kind of sort of flavorful mash is going to be good. I've used the same sort of mushroom and cauliflower base to replace um, ground beef for like tacos, or you can use it in like, I'm really just thinking of tacos in this, probably because this is my first meal. Mm. I wouldn't do it for meatballs, obviously, but anytime you can like really sprinkle different kinds of flavor, um, seasonings, and you're just really trying to replicate the texture, the mix of mushrooms and cauliflower, riced cauliflower can work really well. With the mushrooms, the key is you have to make sure they're chopped up really fine, because that'll allow the moisture to cook out, and brown them. I used a anodized aluminum nonstick pan, but I've read a lot about people insisting on stainless steel stuff to cause fond. I think that's better if you deglaze, and I did kind of deglaze with the soy sauce here. But yeah. Mm, man, this stuff really makes it. Doggone spicy chili crisp. I meant for this to be vegan. I really hope this is still. Hang on. Soybean chili undone. Yeah. Olive oil as a base. Now, if you're more flexible um, about what you're doing, or if you're not trying to stick really in on the meatless stuff, which is fine, you can amp it up by doing something like soaking something, the cauliflower rice in beef broth. Of course, you can just use ground beef, chicken. Mm. It's good stuff. This is the first time I think I'm gonna finish eating and cooking inside of like 30 minutes. Cleanup is super simple too, because didn't use all that much. Spare lettuce leaf here. I mean, yeah, I put on my stream what I'm doing, so I recognize that that's a what we in the business call assumed risk. All right. Well, I'm gonna wrap these up. Thanks for coming by, and have a good night. Oh God, I do this every time where I just say have a good night, and then I have to go and hit the button, and now it's good night. Bye.